It's the first time in my life I've actually given a talk in my shorts, so my apologies. No notes, no real schedule, but we'll see what we can do. Just by way of introduction, I'm Sam Armondi. I'm the Managing Director of Everest Media. We're a digital agency based down here in Cornwall. Just like Bluefruit, we too are hiring. So if you are looking for some exciting challenges, do come and talk to me after, because we've got some very interesting things in the pipeline. What I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about is, rather than how we are breaking the Agile business, is how we are becoming an Agile business. We've been going for about 4 years, and in the past couple of years, we've experienced some really significant growth. We went from having a team of 6 to a team of 18 at the last count, all within a very, very short period of time. And these things take time. These things are challenges. So how have we addressed those, and how have Agile processes helped us? Well, I think if you ask any of our team members who are here today, one of my favorite sayings, which kind of chimes with what we were saying earlier, is basically ship it, get it done. And I think that that attitude has permeated us, not just on the software side, but actually through the business. We've really focused on how can we get things done. To the point where if you look in our office, there are boards for just about everything. There are boards for tasks, but then there are also boards for strategic stuff. There are boards for leads, there are boards for commercial things. And really, whatever we're working on, we're trying to minimize the amount of time that things spend between the backlog and the done column, because that's what hurts us really. And it's kind of become an organizational culture now. We're trying to move cards along as fast as we can. I think it was last week we had the beginnings of our first ever card competition between different teams. Now there was some call of unfairness because we measure tasks differently and they're priced differently and so on, but we're getting there. We're working towards improving things. And we recently started on an internal project, and we had the initial briefing. We're kind of trying to describe how we wanted to measure value. And we kind of hit on something. Basically, all we wanted was something that was better than what we already had. And that mindset has really, really helped us, because once we started applying it to not just our tech stack, but also to our marketing materials, to our web presence, even to stupid things like our email signatures. Just thinking, how can I make this that one little bit better, has made a tangible difference to us. And it's actually putting us in a position now where we can afford to start taking slightly bigger chunks. So starting to prove ourselves on the small steps has meant that we can start taking bigger steps, safe in the knowledge that we can do the small stuff well. So just to give you a few examples of some areas where you probably don't think about using Agile processes, we're going through a whole policy writing exercise, which is probably just about as waterfall as you can get. And yet, if you look on our board, we have different cards for different policies, even down to the point where we are improving policies incrementally. So we have policies that, at the moment, have whole sections that just say to do. In software terms, basically, we've stubbed little bits of it out. We've commented out parts of our policy just because we're not quite there yet. But things like that have really, really helped us, because we've been able to define the things that matter, the things that we need straight away, and then worry about the details or the things that we're not quite ready for yet further down the line, and measure improvements. Another area that we've really tried to improve on is our structure and our management culture. Obviously, as organizations grow, you need more structure. You can't just have this wonderful utopia of a flat team that's completely self-organizing. But in line with one of the earlier sessions around agility in business, what we've really tried to do is empower people. So rather than having a bunch of people who need to be told what to do, we have a bunch of people who are trained on how to think. Then they are tasked with an outcome. So the goal isn't for people to say, can I do this? The goal is to say, I've done this, and look how well it worked. Or I've done this, it didn't work, but we failed fast, and we've learned a lesson, and here's how we're going to apply that lesson to our next task. So things like that have really helped us to the point where I'm going to call it now. In 12 months' time, we're going to be back, and our next year, hopefully, we'll be giving a full talk on our full journey in becoming an Agile business. Thank you very much.
Last